हरे कृष्ण। ओम ज्ञान तिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। हरे कृष्ण. So we'll continue our discussion on purports. So we are doing the second verse. So here this is a very important discussion, and after that uh, we will try to see how Bhishma Dev is praying to the Lord. So till now he is pacifying Yudhishthir Maharaj, and then after that he starts his prayers to the Lord. So till 22nd we heard, and he says here. Of course, today the question was there about Bhishma Dev. So I just wanted to add few more points to it. It's very important for all of us to understand what is this internal independence also. Just few words only. I'll not do much. So this is very important. How the structure, the Vedic culture, we were discussing yesterday. No? Protection means protection from what? Protection from the mind. See, when we say mind, there are three things that we refer. Chitta, Man, Buddhi. Three things are called mind. So when mind we are telling we are troubled, that means we are troubled with manas. When we say we have to develop our mind, we are trying to tell we have to develop our buddhi. This English, na, they don't have they don't know all these things. That's why then they have added some more terms. Subconscious mind, unconscious mind, conscious mind. So conscious mind is buddhi, unconscious mind is manas, and unconscious, and subconscious mind is chitta. So like that, then even the scientists, neuro scientists, they have termed this, they have coined these terms. Otherwise, it is all mind only. But our shastras are very clear. They know the functions of all of them before only. Without all these latest technological devices, they could know it very easily. Anyway, that is not the point. The point what I want to tell is when we are telling when we are telling we have to protect ourselves from mind, that means with that unconscious mind we have to protect ourselves, and we have to develop our buddhi. Manas we have to protect and develop our buddhi. Now here the important thing is we all depend. We are all so much dependent. That is the problem. Mentally we are dependent, and it's actually humiliating dependence also. We are dependent on our past samskaras, and we can see from childhood only we are grown up. We are highly dependent. Depend on everything. Depend on circumstances, good weather, our moods. Depend, and whether there is satisfied with somebody's whims and all. Now people are born in such a state, and this has highly emotional minds. Manas works with the principle of I want, I don't want, I like, I don't like. And when person is guided in that criteria, then he is dependent person. And dependent state is actually very deplorable state. That means we say, na, why country want independence? Because we are dependent nations. People don't want. But already there is so much dependent that is happening with all of us. We have to be independent internally. That's why Vedic culture, the child was transformed from the house environment to the ashram, so that very quickly his buddhi develops. That is the point. So the dependence means a state in which mind does not really work. Buddhi don't work there. Only emotions work. At home, only emotions work. I want, I don't want. I want, mommy is there, papa is there, they will give I love. You go to ashram, there is nothing like I want, I don't like. Just follow the rules. Then what happens? Buddhi start developing. Because mind that gives freedom and independence to person really. And this reasoning helps a person to feel and understand I can do something, I am able to not depend on something. And this is the essence of the Vedic education. I was telling you, protection from our mind, from the emotions, and giving them proper intelligence. Like we know this famous Viktor Franklin, the Austrian psychologist. He was actually in concentration camps. This is a very famous person, you may know the story. He was in concentration camps, and everybody was completely depressed. They know they are all going to die. And sometimes these people, German soldiers, they used to make the prisoners trouble each other. That was how they tortured. Now this person decided that I will, and they were not given proper food and no clothing only. And but he decided not to get affected by it. He said, no, this situation is external. I am not going to get affected by it. And he was completely aloof, quite peaceful and quite satisfied. Other prisoners used to come and take counseling from him because they are completely depressed. They used to counsel them. Not only other prisoners, even the German soldiers, because they were also doing a work which is completely uh, quite depressing even for them also to do such activities. And they used to come for counseling to him. After the Second World War, he was released and he writes a book also and is a motivational speaker. No, he's no. The point is what that he says that every person has the last freedom inside, and no one can take this freedom from us. So the last freedom is what? How we respond to the external circumstances. Otherwise, we are slave to these external circumstances. We need to be free from this. And if our life is guided not on the dictates of the mind, but dictates of the buddhi, then we are free. Otherwise, people they get addicted and then they ultimately pose as victims. What can I do? No, I was in this situation, and this is the most favorite game of all the people. They play victim card. Victim to the circumstances, bad authority, bad family, bad wife, bad husband. No matter whatever is the situation. Uh, so this is actually they always blame, but no, we should thank God, and it is all arrangement by Him. We should be grateful, and then we can come out of it. Anyway, I will come back to our purpose. We will continue with the 23. Yeah. So this is what, and Bhishmadev is actually telling this important point that he's showing by his example how he's not affected. Now, how many people can complain that, Array, how can I remember Krishna? My health is not good. Just imagine Bhishmadev. How can I complain? No, one arrow is there. You cannot even talk only. One arrow is from this hand. Say first you remove it, then we'll think whether to give class or not. At least 1 week break. Bhishmadev whole body all RS. And that was what his state. And still he is independent of the circumstances. He is able to do his bhakti very peacefully. Whole day is chanting Hare Krishna. And when Krishna came, he offered prayers. Not only that, he is instructing Yudhishthir and inspiring him. He is welcoming great sages, inspiring everyone. Happily looking at the form of Krishna, went back to spiritual world. That was what is explained. So here another shloka. Now Bhishmadev is further continuing. The personality of Godhead who appears in the mind of the devotees by attentive devotion and meditation and by chanting the holy name releases the devotee from the bondage of fruitive activities at the time of his quitting material body. This is Bhakta Vesha Mano Yasmin Vacha Yan Nama Kirtayan Rajat Kalevaram Yogi Gucchate Kama Karma Bhi. So this is a very nice shloka. If who appears in the mind of devotees by attentive devotion and meditation. That is what we all have to do. Attentive devotion, meditation, and how? And by chanting the holy name. In that way we can go to spiritual world. So Bhishmadev says and he is doing the same thing. Prabhupada writes, yoga means concentration of the mind detached from all other subjects. And yeah, even when Mahabharata fight was going on, Bhishmadev in morning used to do his sadhana. Not only Bhishmadev, everybody was doing. The Vedic culture is such that everybody has sadhana. Even Duryodhana had their sadhanas. For concentration of mind, they all need sadhanas. Because they didn't want anything spiritual. Even for material things, you need to do sadhana. That's the point there. All Karna, Yudhishthir, all the Kauravas, whoever was there in the battlefield, all the Kshatriyas, they had their morning sadhanas. But they are not spiritual sadhanas for many of them. For except for very few who are devotees, they are not doing any spiritual sadhanas because even Rakshasas, Ravana, everybody has because they know this is where the strength comes. Not that you wake up and no bed coffee vetti 9 o'clock you wake up and just drink something and no, go to college or office and then after coming back take bath. This is no sadhana. You cannot concentrate when it's completely in tamoguna. And the thoughts, the desires, everything is tamoguna or rajoguna like that. So yoga means concentration of mind detached from all other subject matters. And yeah, yes, bro. Shamukund Pro is selling great personalities, but for me, if some person is there, his problem is there, then chanting and hearing becomes difficult. Yeah, for me also. Problem is mind only is the problem. It has so many reasons for not chanting attentively. It says, okay, tomorrow you chant attentively, first somehow complete chanting today. And you are getting so many thoughts. And then same thing, hearing, reading. It's that's the reason we have to keep ourselves in situation that we don't have option. Now, morning I had to sit for the class, I had to speak, even though I don't know anything, still speaking because it benefits us to be in touch with Krishna and to remain. It's a sadhana for us. Before this, I have one more class that happens from 6:15 to 7:15. And so this is not for them. This is our sadhana because I am continuously we have to be in touch with Bhagavatam to protect ourselves. Otherwise, mind is like it has so many other plans to do. Yeah, we have to train ourselves and others. And actually, such concentration is samadhi, percent engagement in the service of the Lord. And one who concentrates his attention in that manner is called a yoga. Such a yoga devotee of the Lord engages himself 24 hours daily in the service of the Lord so that his whole attention is engrossed with the thoughts of the Lord in ninefold devotional service, namely hearing, chanting, remembering, worshipping, praying, becoming a voluntary servant, carrying out order, establishing a friendly relationship, or offering all that one may possess in the service of the Lord. By such practice of yoga or linking up in the service of the Lord, one is recognized by the Lord Himself as it is explained in the Bhagavad Gita concerning the highest perfectional stage of Samadhi. The Lord calls such a rare devotee, the best among all the yogis, such a perfect yogi is enabled by the divine grace of the Lord to concentrate his mind upon the Lord with a perfect sense of consciousness. Thus, by chanting his holy name before quitting the body, the yogi is at once transferred by the internal energy of the Lord to one of the eternal planets where there is no question of material life and its concomitant factors. In the material existence, a living being has to endeavor the material conditions of threefold miseries, life after life, according to his fruitive work. Such material life is product of material desires. Only devotional service to the Lord does not kill the natural desire of the living being, but they are applied in the right cause of devotional service. This qualities the desire to be transferred to the spirituals. This qualifies the desire to be transferred. General Bhishmadev is referred to a particular type of yoga called Bhakti. And he was fortunate enough to have the Lord directly in his presence before quitting his material body. He therefore desired that the Lord stay before his view in the following verses. So from here onwards, now of course one more shloka goes, and I think after that he starts. He from this shloka onwards, 24th onwards, Bhishma is now directly talking to Krishna. Till now he was, of course, within very short time he explained Raja Dharma, Kula Dharma, Sri Dharma, everything. Not short time, but a long time. Shanti Parva is very big section in Mahabharata, explaining so many things that are need to be done. Yudhishthir Maharaj takes so much guidance from Bhishma Dev because now he is no more. This is the last time that he is able to interact with his glorious grandfather, and try to understand the essence and the knowledge how to govern the kingdom and all. And this is his opportunity to have his association for the last time. And this was also such a great state, even though he's emotionally affected, and he was pacified by Bhishmadev, and Bhishmadev nicely pacified, and then he gave so many valuable instructions for him to rule the kingdom like that. And here the conversation between Yudhishthir and Bhishmadev ends with a happy ending. Yudhishthir is satisfied in terms of his grief also, and satisfied with the knowledge which is receiving from Bhishmadev in that way. Yeah, Manikamata says, mind is so cunning that if I try to concentrate, then feel drowsy, and if there is distracting thoughts, then no trace of drowsing is there. What is important, we have to tell our mind, I am going to struggle, I am going to not struggle, means struggle positively, and I want to work hard to chanting. If you have this thought in mind, I want to work hard for my chanting, then we'll be able to overcome. We can concentrate also, and will not feel drowsy also. We have to have this state of mind, I want to work hard for my chanting. This thought comes, then it becomes easy. Then any obstacle come, we are fighting, 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 not externally, internally. That is how it works. What is the main problem in Kaliga, we discuss many times, is laziness. We sit chanting and said, peacefully going on. No, we have to give up laziness there and struggle to do just chanting. So if the fighting spirit is there, then no problem. That is not there, then there is a problem. So that's Sadeva Devo Bhagavan Pratikshataam Kalevaram Yavadidam Hinomyaham Prasannaha Sarunalochanolasam Mukambujo Dhyanapatas Chaturbuja. He says, may my Lord, who is four-handed, so Bhishmadev's form of worshipping Lord is four-handed form, and whose who beautifully decorated lotus face with eyes as red as rising sun is smiling kindly await me at that moment when I quit this material body. So now Bhishmadev is expressing his desire. Very simple, but it's very difficult. We have a desire that Krishna should be there at the time of death. Krishna is ready. He said, okay, you want, I'll come. But we don't want. That is the problem. Theoretically, we want. Really, from the heart, from the soul, the desire is not coming. Krishna is fulfilling all desires. He will fulfill spiritual desire also. But we should have that desire. That's why we need association of devotees, so that desire, spiritual desires will be fanned, and they become very, very serious for us. Now they are not so. Krishna is, if Krishna really hears our spiritual desires, Krishna, I want only you, nothing else. Krishna says, are you serious? I'll take away everything. I'll only give you myself to you. Then we'll again have a second thought. Everything means what all he will take. Why to take risk? So Krishna also knows that. Everything means like Bhakti Maharaj. He says, Krishna, he says, you take away problems of all devotees and give it to me. And within 6 months, Maharaj got cancer, because Maharaj played very seriously. And Maharaj was happy also. He said, yes, let their trouble I will take. And in the mood of, he writes Vyas Puja offering, and Prabhupada Vyas Puja offering, Bhakti Maharaj writes a very famous offering. You all can read again, you might have read also. Says, in the mood of Vasudev, that I pray that all the troubles of ISKCON devotees, let it come to me, let me go through the pain and they be happy. And then immediately came. Krishna very seriously listens, but we should also seriously pray. So now Bhishmadev is telling, I want Krishna to be when I am quitting my body. Krishna says, okay, fine with me. I don't have anything else. I am not very busy person. I am always with my devotees. Whatever they want, I'll do. Krishna is not busy person. He's cool. So devotees, that's the advantage. Vishnu know well that Lord Krishna is the original Narayana, is worshipable deity. And if you see now this prayers of Vishnu, many times he is addressing Krishna in relation with Arjuna only. It's a very interesting. His worshipable deity was four-handed Narayana, but he knew that four-handed Narayana is a clearer expansion of Lord Krishna. Indirectly, he desired Lord Krishna to manifest himself in four-handed feature of Narayana. A Vaishnava is always humble in his behavior. Although it was 100% certain that Vishnudev was approaching Vaikuntha Dham just after leaving this material body. Still, as a humble Vaishnava, he desired to see the beautiful face of the Lord. For after quitting the present body, he may not be in a position to see the Lord anymore. That is Vishnu. Why everybody know that Vishnudev is going to live? Because they all know Vishnudev had Ichha Mrityu. He knows when he can quit his body. And as soon as this battlefield, when he was completely fallen in a state that he cannot even move also, in that state, actually it's a insult also. If you are pulling out the arrows from a warrior, it's a, it's a disrespect. He has to do it on his own, or he has something. There may be some etiquettes that they are following. And then another important, when Vishnu wanted water, Arjuna brought, pouring a warrow went inside because he want to die on the battlefield like a warrior. Now you remove all the arrows, bring him to the house and keeping on a bed and try to heal the wounds, and while healing the wounds he is dying. It's a inglorious death for a Kshatriya. Kshatriya means he will be more happy to die on the battlefield rather dying in a hospital on a stinking bed. This is more what happens to most of the people nowadays. They just die like that. They don't have any glorious deaths. So the point is that uh, Bhishmadev here, he's uh, he's seeing, of course, yeah. So the Lord is present there, and Bhishmadev want to see that form of the Lord. A Vaishnava is not puffed up. Although the Lord guarantees his pure devotee entrance into his abode. Here Bhishmadev says, as long as I do not quit this body, how people know that? Everybody knows because Bhishma, as soon as he fell from the battlefield, he could have left his body because he has his choice. But he didn't choose. He said, I will live in Uttarayana. And Uttarayana was almost approaching. So everybody knows now Bhishma is going to leave his body. So let us go and meet him. That's the reason like that. They know now Uttarayana is coming and Bhishmadev is waiting for Uttarayana. Everybody knows. So as soon as Uttarayana was approaching, everybody goes to meet Bhishmadev. And then Krishna also comes, everybody comes. They all gather and Bhishmadev is giving his instructions on them. As Vaishnava is not puffed up, although the Lord guarantees his pure devotee entrance into his abode, here Bhishmadev says, as long as I do not quit this body, this means that the great general would quit the body by his own will. He was not being forced by the laws of nature. He was so powerful that he could stay in his body as long as he desired. He got this benediction from his father. He desired that the Lord stay before him in his four-handed Narayana feature so that he might concentrate upon him and thus be in the trance, and thus be in trance in that meditation. Then his mind might be sanctified with thinking of the Lord. Thus he did not mind wherever he might go. A pure devotee is never very anxious to go back to kingdom of God. He entirely depends on the good will of the Lord. He is equally satisfied even if the Lord desires him to go to. The only desire that a pure devotee and entertains is that he may always be in the rapt attention with thinking of the lotus feet of God, regardless. Bhishmadev wanted this much only, that his mind be absorbed in thinking of the Lord and that he passes away thus. That is the highest ambition of a pure devotee. What is the highest ambition of a pure devotee? Haridas Thakur is saying, my dear Lord, just keep your lotus feet off my chest, and holding the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, looking at his beautiful lotus face, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, and he left. Saying this, he left his body. This is so he says that Sudha Goswami said, Maharaj Yudhishthir, after hearing Bhishmadev spoke in that appealing tone, asked him in the presence of all great rishis about the essential principles of various religious duties. So, Bhishmadev speaking on that appealing tone convinced Maharaj Yudhishthir that it was very soon passing away. And Maharaj Yudhishthir was inspired by Lord Sri Krishna to ask him of the principles of religion. Lord Sri Krishna inspired Maharaj Yudhishthir to ask Bhishmadev in the presence of many great sages, indicating thereby that the Lord's devotee like Bhishmadev, although apparently living a worldly man, is far superior to many great sages, even Vyasadeva. So here, inspiring Krishna is inspiring. Maybe he might have directly asked, or he may have inspired from within also. I don't not read Vishnu Chakratkan. We'll see what is written in there secret. And here Bhishmadev is Prabhupada is telling all these sages are there, but Bhishmadev is a devotee. So that is the greatest part. Even though he's a righteously, he is also very famous. But there are many people who are righteous. But here but here the point is uh, the the Bhishmadev is people may have knowledge, they are very realized, but devotees are something special because they can give devotional purpose. So another point is that Bhishmadev at the time was not only lying on a deathbed of arrows, but was greatly aggrieved because of that state. One should not have asked him any questions at the time, but Lord Sri Krishna wanted to prove that his pure devotees are always sound in body and mind by dint of spiritual enlightenment. And thus, in any circumstances, a devotee of the Lord is in perfect order to speak the right way of life. Yudhishthir also preferred to solve his problematic questions by asking Vishnudev rather than ask anyone else present there who was seemingly more learned than Vishnudev. This is all due to the arrangement of great wheel carrier Lord Sri Krishna, who establishes the glories of his devotees. The father likes to see the son become more famous than himself. The Lord direct declares very emphatically that worship of his devotee is more valuable than the worship of the Lord himself. And Purusham Swabhavahitan Yata Varnam Yata Ashramam Vairagyaragopadhyam Amnatobhya Lakshana. At Maharaj Yudhishthir's inquiry, Bhishmadev first defined all the classifications of caste and order of life in terms of the individual's qualification. Then he systematically, in twofold divisions, described counter reactions by detachment and interactions by attachment. So he's telling about karma, jnana, everything. Vishmadev has knowledge of all these things very nicely. So we will see, try to cover. The conception of four castes and four orders of life as planned by the Lord himself is to accelerate transcendental qualities of the individual person so that he may gradually realize his spiritual identity and thus act according to get free from material bondage or conditioned life. In almost all the Puranas, the subject matter is described in the same spirit. And so also in the Mahabharata, it is more elaborately described by Bhishmadev in the Shanti Parva, beginning from the 16th chapter. The Varnashram Dharma is prescribed for the civilized human being just to train him to successfully terminate human life. So Varnashram system is very, very scientific developed system. It's not something some women haters they wrote some brahmanas who are not very developed or don't have proper understanding of society. It's not that. It's a very scientific system. This modern system they came from French Revolution. It said equality, brotherhood, and all these things, all sorts of everybody is equal. This is actually bogus. That's the result of is what is this modern civilization, and everybody is unhappy. Everybody want to become something else only in this world. Women want to become man want to become woman also, some of them, and then man want to become, you want to go in the ladder of progress, and all these things are happening only. So this is the greatest problem here. And so we see here, varnashram dharma is prescribed by the uh, for the civilized human being just to train him to successfully terminate human life. Self-realization is distinguished from the life of lowest animal engaged in eating, sleeping, fearing, and mating. Vishnudev advised for all human beings 9 qualifications: not to become angry, not to lie, equally distributed, to forgive, to beget children only by one's legitimate wife, to be pure in mind and hygienic in body, not to be inimical towards anyone, to be simple, and to support servants or subordinates. One cannot be called a civilized person without acquiring the above mentioned preliminary qualities. Besides these, the Brahmanas, the intelligent men, the administrative men, the mercantile community, and the labor class must acquire special qualities in terms of occupational duties mentioned in all the Vedic literatures. For the intelligent man, controlling the senses is the most essential qualification. So very clear, see, for intelligent man, controlling senses most, and it is basis of morality. Sex intelligence with a legitimate wife must be controlled, and thereby family control will automatically follow. An intelligent man abuses his great qualification if he does not follow the Vedic way of life. This means he must seriously make a study of Vedic literature, especially of the Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. For learning Vedic knowledge, one must approach a person who is sent person engaged in devotional service. He must not do anything which are forbidden in the Shastras. A person cannot be a teacher if he drinks or smokes. School teachers should not drink or smoke, which is nowadays professors drink with students and they drink and they smoke with students also in the colleges. In the modern system of education, the teacher's academic qualifications taken into consideration without evaluating of his moral life. Therefore, the result of education is misuse of high intelligence in so many ways. So this is now irreversible damages are happening in the society until some big pralaya comes, everything destroys, again new creation comes. There is such a 5,000 species are extinct on planet Earth in last maybe 200, 300 years. That means that species are no more. So this is all damages humanity is doing for the nature. The Kshatriya, the member of administrative class, is especially advised to give charity and not to accept charity in any circumstance. Modern administrators risk subscriptions for some political funds, but never give charity to the citizens in any state function. It is just the reverse in the injunction of the Shastras. The administrative class must be well versed in the Shastras, but must not take to the profession of teachers. This their energy. So what here the Brahmana can do Kshatriya's job, Brahmana can do Vaishya's job, but Brahmana cannot do Shudra job. He cannot work for money. He can do business. He can do administrator if there is an emergency and for some time is needed. That means the upper class he can do lower one, but he cannot. Of course, Brahmana they cannot do Kshatriya, Vaishya job. But a Kshatriya can never do Brahmana's job. That's what is telling. He is well versed in the Shastras, but he should not take the profession of teachers. Their energy should be especially directed towards killing the thieves, the dacoits, the black marketers, and all such undesirable elements of society. The administration should never pretend to become non-violent and thereby go to hell. When Arjuna wanted to become a non-violent coward on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, he was severely chastised by Lord Krishna. The Lord disregarded Arjuna at the time the status of an uncivilized man for his vow acceptance of the cult of non-violence because of his vow. So he says this is the purpose is nonsense, non-violence. The administrative class must be personally trained in military education. Cowards should not be evaluated to the presidential throne by dint of nuclear words only. Monarch are all chivalrous personalities, and therefore monarch should be maintained, provided the monarch is regularly trained in the occupational duties of a king. The fighting, the king in fighting, the king or the uh, president should never return home without being hurt by enemy. The so-called king is today never visits the battlefield. He is very much expert in artificially encouraging the fighting strength in the hope of false national prestige. As soon as the administrative class is turned into a gang of mercantile and labormen, the whole monarchy of government becomes polluted. This is actually what the capitalist means. What it's all Vaishyas only. All Vaishyas are ruling, and all the things are done by Vaishyas. And then anywhere there is money, it is all Vaishya center. Previously, the doctors are Brahmanas, Brahmanical job that is. That means you can never take money for education and these things. But when the money started coming in the profession of medicine, Vaishyas are becoming doctors. They know how to make money in all situations. So that's why if you see the doctors are the highly paid professionals in America. Who are they? They're all Vaishyas only, not Brahmanas. Anyway, so now about Vaishyas, what Prabhupada is telling. So here, all classes, Prabhupada is telling about Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishyas. This is all from Bhishma Dev's instructions, which he gave to Yudhishthira Maharaj in Mahabharata Shanti Parva. The Vaishyas, the members of mercantile communities, are especially advised to protect the cows. Cow protection means increasing the milk production, namely yogurt and butter. Agriculture and distribution of foodstuffs are the primary duties of the mercantile community, backed by education in Vedic knowledge and trained to give in charity. Their main job is to give charity, Vaishyas. Kshatriyas to give protection, Brahmanas to give knowledge, like that. As the Kshatriya were given charge of the protection of the citizens, the Vaishyas were given charge of protection of animals. Animals are never meant to be killed. Killing of animals is a symptom of barbaric society. For a human being, uh, agriculture, product, fruits, and milk are sufficient and completely and compatible foods. The human society should give more attention to animal protection. The productive energy of the labor is misused when he is occupied in industrial enterprises. Industries of various types cannot produce the essential needs of man, namely rice, wheat, grains, milk, fruits, and vegetables. The production of machines and mechanics and mission tools increase the artificial living passion of a class of vested interests and keep thousands of men in starvation and risk. If you agree to read some of the paras on your own, then what I can spend more time in explaining the purports, because I'm not getting time to explain the purports because we have very less time. But there are some essential points. I'm only afraid that you should do homework. So if you are ready to take some time to read as a homework some of the purports, then other purports we can elaborately discuss because we already so yeah, only one Monica Mata is agreeing. And, so then we will have some elaborate time. If you are okay with elaborate discussions, then we will do it. Otherwise, okay, Prabhupada purports. Bol. Good enough. We'll continue reading them, and wherever little bit time I get, and I will try to share some points with you, because it's quite uh, quite elaborate some of the purports. And yeah, Vishwanath Chakravarti Tagore, by tomorrow, Roji can reach easily this shloka because there are just one, two line Prabhupada's purports are very good. The Shudra class is less intelligent and should have no independence. They are meant for rendering service, sincere service to the three higher sections of society. The Shudra class can attain all comforts of life simply by rendering service to the higher classes. Especially enjoyed, the Shudra should never bank money. As soon as the Shudra accumulates money, it will misuse for sensible activities in wine, women, and gambling. Wine, women, and gambling indicate that the population is degraded to less than Shudra quality. The highest caste should always look after the maintenance of the Shudras, and they should provide them with old and used garments. The Shudra should never leave his master, and when the master is old and invalid, the master should keep the servant satisfied in all respects. The Shudras must first of all be satisfied by the sumptuous food and clothing before any sacrifice is performed. In this age, so many functions are held by spending millions, but the poor laborers is not sumptuously fed or given charity, clothing, etc. The laborers are thus dissatisfied, and so they make agitations, revolutions. The Varna are, so to speak, classification of different occupations, and ashram dharma is gradual progress on the path of self-realization, but are interrelated and one is dependent on the other. The main purpose of Varnashrama is to awaken knowledge and detachment. So we discussed also Varnashrama is peaceful body, peaceful mind, peaceful society. Brahmachari ashram is the training ground for the purpose for the prospective candidates. In this ashram, it is instructed that this material world is not actually the home of the living entities. The conditioned soul under material bondage are promised are prisoners of matter, and therefore self-realization is the ultimate aim of life. The whole system of Varnashram Dharma is a means to detachment. One who fails to assimilate the spirit of detachment is allowed to enter into family life with the same spirit of detachment. Therefore, one who attains detachment may be at once adopt the fourth order, namely renounce, and thus live on the charity only, not to accumulate one, but just to keep body and soul together for ultimate realization. Household life is for one who is attached, and the Vanaprastha and Sannyas order of life are for those who are detached from material life. The Brahmacharya ashram is especially meant for training both the attached and the detached. So, thank you all very much. Any question, comments? Yes, Chandrika Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Tanur Pranam Prabhuji. Prabhuji, like in Prabhuji's class, when Mataji asked a question that why devotee leave the Krishna consciousness if they are not affected by karmas. So Prabhuji, I just have a like my close relative, who brought me to Krishna consciousness, but due to after practicing Krishna consciousness very nicely, 6, 8, 9 years, he just left Krishna consciousness, and now like he say he has a faith, but now he's worshipping all the demigods and also eating these onion, garlic and all. So Prabhuji, now he don't find any taste in association. He just avoid coming to temple. He's my actually brother only. So what could be done, Prabhuji, now to bring back him to Krishna consciousness, and how long it will take? Because now since 10 years he is not practicing Krishna consciousness. He's like he had Gornita also. So, but Prabhuji, so how like this is because of offenses, or what is the reason behind it? Because he had a group of association very nice in Russia, and then he find some faults in them, and like he didn't get much guidance. Whatever maybe the reason, I don't know exactly. But now how can I help? Because he don't want to listen also. He had a fate, he's worshipping, but many demigods also, Krishna also. And he say, I have full faith in Prabhupada also. So Prabhuji, now what can be done? What are small steps can be taken so that he can come back to Krishna conscious?
Yeah, so the reasons why people leave Krishna consciousness, there are 3 reasons. One is wrong practice of Krishna consciousness. Second is wrong motivations. Third is offenses. Because of these three reasons, people leave Krishna consciousness. We should not have wrong motivations. We should not have wrong practices, and then we should not commit Vaishnava prayer. So, in your brother's case, he was hearing wrong about devotees. That causes offenses, and maybe some practices he may not have learned properly to do. That is also maybe one of the reasons. So these two reasons, uh, whatever you are telling based on that I'm understanding. So now to counteract it, what we have to do, you have to help him at least develop faith on you. You should because or any other devotee, that relationship is the only key for him to further come to Krishna conscious or practice seriously. If somebody has a relation, say now I wanted to, if I have a good relation with somebody, he may not like ISKCON or he got some very bad experience ISKCON, but he personally likes me, then I say, Proji, come on, na, Janmashtami or some festival, come, we'll take prasadam. Because of me, he will come. He may not like anything. That is what is needed for in this situation. Anybody goes away like that, then we can only bring if they develop a relation with any other exalted devotees and throw him. They will come. Like Bhaktit Maharaj, Prabhuji was telling, na, I don't want to exchange with any of the things with what I got. Not that he's some, what he is telling is, I am able to influence so many people's life because of this cancer. Many people who left Krishna consciousness went away, again they are coming back because they are seeing me, and because they are seeing Maharaj sacrifice and Maharaj devotion, it changed their heart. That is what is needed. The association of very nice devotee, very close relationship, that will help him to come back and practice further, because the impressions of his practice, that is eternal, it will remain with him. But only thing is, now we still have choice of uh, choice of uh, practicing, uh, uh, choice of association. That's all. That's the only thing we all have. So you try to give him good association. You tell him, okay, you like Prabhupada, chalo, let us go to Mayapur, or some things like that. You have to.
Based on whatever he likes to do, should encourage that only, na Prabhuji?
Yeah. That is should be encouraged, and that should be done.
Okay. And how long it takes, Prabhuji? If someone goes, it can take millions also? Or at the time of death, Krishna will take
No.
care of because they
Krishna
have
is very
practiced that.
kind. No. Krishna is very kind. He will do it. Only we should have faith. Krishna is will take care.
Okay, Prabhuji. Yeah,
He
thank
will
you,
not.
Prabhuji.
It is, you can give him association, your association. If he appreciates devotees, that is the best thing. You can do
So
it.
Prabhuji, he just don't want to mingle with devotees. And he want to
That's not a problem.
he don't say that he don't like devotees, but he just avoid coming to temple. He may come to my house for my programs and my personal things. But he is like, he don't say, when I ever send any message of Krishna consciousness coming to temple, he just don't respond. Otherwise, I send any other message, he will respond. So Prabhuji, and he says, I know everything. I have full faith. I am on another level now. You will also find such situation when you will find such difficulties. So, Prabhuji,
No,
like
what this is good. He is coming to you. He's taking prasadam. He appreciates. That is good enough. When he comes to you, talk to you, you can share some of the things which you like, and let him appreciate you. That will also help him to come out of the situation. Even one devotee appreciates, he will come out of it. A very
I don't
short
know.
time.
He appreciate me as a sister, not I don't know as a devotee or not.
That is also no
But
problem. That is not a problem.
but because of him, only
Because
our
your
whole
sister, you
family.
are a devotee sister, he will make benefit. That's the advantage.
But Prabhuji, because of him only, our whole family got connected to Krishna consciousness. And now, because he's not practicing, many of us, many of them, like not got full faith only. They're also doing mixed bhakti. So that's why sometimes I feel I don't know how I can help him, because I openly I cannot say anything about Krishna consciousness, but some steps can be taken, hiding it so that he don't know that I'm helping also, and he gets again connected to Krishna. That
Like,
I'm asking, Prabhuji.
you should only appreciate. That's the only thing that will help.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Any other thing, because nothing will work. Appreciate devotees. We'll make progress. For us also, that is a formula for us. We are not able to do many things. You just appreciate. Proji, nice class you are giving. Proji, nice kirtan you do. Proji, you cook nicely. Proji, you do nice service. Just appreciate. We'll get same credit. We'll make advancement. Continue appreciate devotee.
Yeah,
So let him
Prabhuji, and
appreciate. Very
at
soon
the
he will come back. Don't worry. Maybe Krishna will. You are
it's
so
going
much
to be
praying. You pray
10 years,
sincerely, and
Prabhuji.
I will also pray for him. You pray for him to
Yeah, yeah,
sincerely to
that will
Krishna.
be
He
very
will come.
nice, Prabhuji. And Prabhuji, this Agya Sukriti, we say, na, due to Agya Sukriti, we develop faith. But after coming to Krishna consciousness, also this is Gyat Sukriti, Prabhuji.
No, no. This is also Sukriti only. We are developing, but it should be sufficient for us to go ahead.
No, no, Prabhuji, I'm asking like when we are not in Krishna consciousness, we gain Agya Sukriti and then our Shraddha comes, like appreciating and whatever we do. But after coming to Krishna consciousness, when we do these small steps, appreciating devotees, what is that called? Agyat Sukriti, what it?
No, it is Sukriti we call directly. We don't say it is Ajnat Sukriti because we are wantedly doing it.
Okay, then it is called
Yeah,
Sukriti only.
Sukriti only. Yes.
Okay. So that time it also affects, na, like we voluntarily appreciating
Yeah, yeah,
devotees
yeah.
and doing some service
Yes.
with our heart. So that is called Sukritis and adding to our faith, strengthening our faith, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Sham,
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat.
Prabhuji, if you have time, I will ask today or I will ask tomorrow also. Can
We can ask, bro.
yeah, that's Prabhu, thank you. Prabhuji, I just wanted to know that here we heard that Bhishma Dev was attracted to the Narayan form, but
Yeah.
then he will pray that let the Parsarthi, that form, Krishna as a chariot driver, be my vision. And we also find that the Gopakumar, when he went to Vaikuntha, now here we see that Bhishmadeva goes back to Vaikuntha. So there he finds that no one know about Krishna too much. But here we find contrast that Bhishmadeva is attracted to the 400 Narayan form, but he knows everything about Krishna and his love with the Gopakumars and even the exalted gopis. So how to understand this?
They may have knowledge, bro. Some of the Vaikuntha Vasis, they also know about Goloka. They may very much know. Not that everybody don't. Some of them may know, but they're interested in this form. And here, Bhishmadev is interested because his rasa is Virya ras. That's why he's interested in the form of Krishna, and he's driving the chariot and he's shooting arrows to him. And wherever Krishna in different universe, when he is fighting, then Vishnudev goes to the opposite side to fight with Krishna because that is not possible in Vaikuntha. That is not just he has this. In Vaikuntha there is Dasyaras, but in Dasya, but Bhishmadev is Viryaras. He is fighting with Krishna. So it's not just. And sometime in Dwarka also Krishna manifests four-handed forms. So he may be in Dwaraka also with Krishna with like that.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. And Prabhu, this weekend there was our counseling meeting. So in that I came to know about Ankit Prabhu, who is in our counseling meeting. You know him, Ankit Prabhu in Pune.
Yeah, GGD.
So he was under your care. So he was explaining about this. That so I got to know that. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
So the Chandrakmada has three things: wrong motivations, Vaishnava aparad, and wrong practices. Third is wrong practices.